I didn't realize it was going to end already. I need to pay attention.
You were deep into dancing. You were just feeling all the vibes.
I was getting my body like energized, like the energy moving, you know, it's like, yeah, woo. Oh, yeah. I hope I challenge all the Simply Cyber family out there right now. Just get out of your chair, do a little dance.
Yes,
do a little dance.
Yes.
Erica's in her chair though, but I'm always
a little bebop.
Yeah. Can you believe, really quick sidebar on this, can you believe that Jerry stands all day long? I don't think his desk even moves down. Like he literally all day long, 7 days a week, he literally just stands. I don't know how he does it. Superhuman.
He is a superhuman. I will never understand how he has the energy to do everything that he does. Jerry, whatever coffee you're drinking, send that our way.
For real. He should do a coffee line. Oh my God.
That's a great business idea. Simply Cyber Brewers or something.
Yeah. We'll get 10% cut because it was Eric and our idea, essentially.
Oh, well, hey fam. Today on Two Cyber Chicks, we are going to be joined by Santosh Kaveti, a technologist, entrepreneur, investor, and advisor with over 18 years of experience leading innovation across industries. He's the CEO and founder of ProArch, a purpose-driven enterprise helping clients accelerate value and build resilience through cloud, data, apps, and security by design. Under Santosh's leadership, ProArch has become a powerhouse in energy, healthcare, life sciences, and manufacturing, while he also serves as the chairman of the board at NHOPS and IV4. Beyond business, Santosh is passionate about mentoring startups, uplifting underprivileged communities, and integrating a human-centric approach into technology. With global experience across 23 countries, his mission blends innovation, impact, and resilience. We'll be diving in with Santosh today to explore how AI is transforming business and how leaders can harness its power while managing its risks.
Woo!
All right, without further ado, let's bring him on.
Let's do it.
Santosh, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Well, before we dive in, would love to hear how you got into the field.
Oh, I mean, that's a long story, but I'll try to keep it short.
Yeah.
Well, I was actually not into technology when I started my career. I was actually happily trying to be on the academic side. I was doing my PhD in applied mathematics. Then life happened for whatever reasons. I got into technology. But my journey, the best way to describe my journey always has been I chased good problems to solve. Jumped from one problem to another. I met amazing people. That's how everybody saw that this guy's asking too many questions. Let us put him in charge. That's how my journey started. And that's where whatever I am today is because of that curiosity.
That's amazing. Okay, PhD in mathematics. I made it to, I think, college algebra, but I did pivot to physics for a while and did some physics stuff for electronic warfare for the military. So PhD though, you must really love math.
Yeah, that's super impressive.
That's my passion. Just for the record, I did not finish I had to drop out. I was very close, but as I said, I had to drop out, but I love math.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow. Are you going to go back and try to finish eventually?
Would love to.
It's a lot of work. So I was talking to somebody about it the other day. All those PhD folks out there, like, salute you. It is a lot of work. So AI, let's talk about, I want to dive into some AI. We can talk so many different directions with AI, but I want to talk about like AI strategy in my company. And I see it throughout other companies too. It's like, AI's here. We're in a reactionary space. Like you see this a lot of times in security is like, we're not prepared for something. And then it happens now we're reacting to it. So right now, I'm noticing that a lot of companies are starting to talk about AI strategy, but very few, in my opinion, are actually executing that strategy effectively. So, in your opinion, what's been the biggest challenge you've seen moving from AI strategies to really just like pontificating about it to actually real world execution of it in an environment?
Well, AI, in my opinion, Jax, is not just here. It's actually moving on, and everybody, including enterprises, are just trying to catch up. That's the way it is. It's like a bullet train. It really passed the station, and we're still trying to say, get on the train. That's the state that everybody is in right now. Uh, I'm going to answer that question, which is a really good question, because we deal with that day in, day out with our customers and ourselves internally, as well as we try to become um, AI native. I would say at this point, if I have to categorize companies, they are AI aware, companies that are AI enabled, the companies that are AI native. Okay, we're trying to move ourselves from AI enabled to AI native, and there's a lot of work that goes into that. The best way to describe it is actually OpenAI just released a really good report. So I'm gonna steal some of the framework that they've laid out, which accord with me very well. You first have to start with align. Align is not just at the executive level, but at the team level. At every level, you need to align. Alignment includes awareness, education, readiness, willingness to become wherever you are, whether you are moving from AI aware to AI enabled or you're AI enabled to AI native. Okay. There's a lot of work that goes into just being AI aware or AI aligned. Just across it goes into culture, it goes into who you are as an organization, what you're trying to become, why, and why, and comms. Then you try to activate. And this is where I think most companies struggle a lot. Activate is, how do you enable every employee to leverage AI beyond individual productivity tool? If you're still thinking about AI just as a productivity enhancement tool, you're already behind the times. This is how at least I challenge our teams. If you haven't already created at least one agent to automate at least one workflow or the task that you're doing today, you probably are already behind. I'm just being nice when I say that, quite frankly. That's how fast AI is moving, and that's how fast AI can help companies. It's just not the speed of disruption, the magnitude of disruption that AI is bringing into organizations. It's difficult to deal with, in addition to everything that they have to do as part of their day jobs. So Activate really involves providing them the education, tools, space. This is one of the biggest thing is, everybody assumes that just because you provided a tool and you threw it them a bunch of this course materials, okay, done. Now it's really on you to go figure it out. Now that's very difficult. So you have to give them the space to adopt, space to learn, space to imagine, space to get creative, space to actually start thinking about interesting use cases that they can bring to the surface. All of that goes into activating mode. Then you try to operationalize that, then you try to accelerate that, then you can amplify that, and at the end, don't forget, you have to govern it properly. So this is how I would describe the company should look at how they approach AI. And probably in that answer lies where companies are lacking today. They're lacking in terms of, how do we even get aligned? How do we activate? How do we accelerate? How do we amplify this? How do we govern this? These are all the questions that they're asking. Sometimes it's very difficult for them to find the answers, but they have to go through this journey, go through the phases. They can't jump straight to being AI native without actually going through every step of the way.
Hey everyone, I'm Jax.
And I'm Erica. We're going to take a quick break for a message from our sponsors.
Do zero-day exploits and supply chain attacks keep you up at night? Worry no more. You can harden your security with ThreatLocker. Imagine taking a proactive, deny-by-default approach to cybersecurity, blocking every action, process, and user unless specifically authorized by your team. ThreatLocker helps you do this and provides a full audit of every action, allowed or blocked, for risk management and compliance. Onboarding and operation is fully supported by their US-based support team. Stop the exploitation of trusted applications within your organization to keep you running efficiently and secure, protected from ransomware. Worldwide, companies like JetBlue trust ThreatLocker to secure their data and keep their business operations flying high. To learn more about how ThreatLocker can mitigate unknown threats and ensure compliance from your organization, visit threatlocker.com/2cyberchicks.
For putting those steps in play, as you were talking, I was thinking, okay, where am I right now? And I'm very early on in that workflow. I'm like, I still am struggling with finding the time for the team to spend, right? Having that like playground, so to speak, right? Like to let the creativity flow, like the opportunities that they can unlock with the use of AI properly, right? But you have to have the time and you have to have that like willingness and like open mind. So I love the way that you put that out. I think it's an ongoing challenge, regardless of where people are in that life cycle, right? I think we are now starting to be more aware. People are playing around and tinkering with it, but they're very early on still. Like we're not towards that education point where people are actually like flowing in. And then obviously there's the fear. So I wanted to ask, because you were talking about governance, and I know that comes, as you become more aware, enabled, and native. But as the adoption has grown, right, everybody's thinking, okay, what about the risks, the deepfakes, the data leaks, any compliance failures? Am I going to have to start getting AI compliance certifications and audits? And what do you think are the top AI risks organizations are not paying enough attention to right now?
Oh boy. So there are so many risks, but let me start with something basic. I think before we get to AI and adoption of AI, one has to look at their maturity of their infrastructure, mainly maturity of their data. Every risk that data poses is simply carried into AI as by default. That's the fundamental risks. If your data quality is poor, that risk is transmitted straight into your AI models, AI training, AI applications, agents, wherever you're going with that. If your data security is poor, just from access controls perspective, privileges perspective, permissions perspective, you're simply carrying that on. Not just carrying that on, I must say this, AI magnifies that and makes it worse. That's one of the reasons why I'm fascinated and I love the situation that we are in, because for the first time, I'm seeing business owners, not just IT, not just security teams, not just compliance teams, business owners that are genuinely concerned about data because they want to use AI, they want to get there faster, but they realize that if they screw up with their data, it's going to make their lives worse. And that's what they're really worried about. So you start with your data risks first. Okay. Now then comes AI risks. AI models pose risks of their own that are, in addition to whatever the data risks are. One of the biggest risks that I can pretty much guarantee every organization is going through is shadow AI.
Mm-hmm. Oh God.
Whether they know it or not, everybody is using your corporate data information and then saying, okay, you're going to give me a very governed or secured tool that I can, with limited functionality, whereas I can just go to ChatGPT and do a lot more. I'm just going to go to ChatGPT and try to solve this problem on my own.
Yep.
The shadow AI is a big deal.
Can you cover that really quick at a high level for everyone? Like, because I was just reading an article about this too, shadow AI. Like, what is it at a super high level for anybody who may not know what that is?
Shadow AI is essentially someone using AI application that you have not approved yet as the company through your corporate AI governing policy. I'm sure you have a way to say, hey, these are approved apps, these are approved blah blah, whatever usage is. But someone decided, you know what, I'm just going to go use, Manus, Llama, OpenAI tool here because I know it can do this so much faster than what I can do with my corporate tools. That's shadow AI. That's a big deal right now.
Yes.
Do not go rogue.
So, and that's essentially, it's very difficult to control, and it's very difficult to, Samsung early on when one of the Samsung employees, this was published publicly quite well, he leaked some information unintentionally because they used ChatGPT, and Samsung was in trouble. What they turned around and did, of course, was banned ChatGPT across their company, lines, period, right? But that's the risk that everyone is posing, right? It's a basic risk. Then you have your advanced risks of AI prompt injection, attacks. You have model inversion. Prompt injection is essentially clever prompts. You can make AI share with you the information that you're not supposed to see, or even sometimes jailbreak and hack it. As soon as ChatGPT 5 was released, within 24 hours, somebody actually hacked it using a technique called echo chamber. So there are very clever ways of hacking these AI models. Then you have model inversion. There are clever ways of trying to steal the IP, trying to steal the models, the core algorithms themselves. There is model drift. Then you have your typical hallucinations, bias, which introduces discrimination, and there are ethical considerations as well. There's a whole slew of risks. The good news is there are now really good tool sets and frameworks available to mitigate this risk. It's not like you can't do anything about these things. Now, the news is there are new risks emerging as AI is advancing so fast. There are every month there's a new risk, a new way of hacking, new attack surface that's emerging. So we're having to constantly catch up, we're in that mode. Now, regulation is so far behind. You can say there is regulation emerging, but regulation is so far behind in terms of catching up that companies, I don't think, can wait for regulation to catch up. Regulation is not going to be an answer because of how fast AI is moving. Companies, CISOs, ITs, compliance officers, they have to wear a different hat. They have to become AI native and say, no, I'm not going to wait for regulation to kick in. We're going to have to be proactive about how to mitigate these risks.
Yeah. Yeah, no, there's a lot getting rolled out, but like I mentioned from the start too, we've touched on it, is like we're really reactive. We can't be proactive now at this point in time. And it's kind of like whack-a-mole right now with the AI tools, because you can block the ones that you know of, the Geminis, the ChatGPTs, but there's so many other, and they're not just large language models for like text. There's other types out there that help you with editing tools or help you with like audio visual. There's all kinds of different other AI tools that you just can't block them all for organizations. So you have to figure out a different security approach. And this topic isn't going to go away. It's exciting times. In my opinion, I think it's exciting times because we're never going to be out of a job, Santosh. So that's for sure.
It is so true. It is so true. For compliance perspective, I always tell everyone there is AI for compliance, and then there's compliance for AI.
Yeah.
This is a fascinating time to be in the security and compliance space, quite frankly.
Agree with you. Yeah. And it's just going to get more chaotic. It's going to be great.
Learn as we go.
Here we go.
Yeah.
So with all these, like all the possibilities of AI that we're seeing coming in, I know one of the challenges that I have seen for myself is how do you prioritize what you're going to do in an organization with all of the possibilities with the AI? So if there's somebody that's listening right now, it's like, how do I prioritize it? How do I know what AI initiatives I need to focus on that will align with my business goal and I can avoid AI for the sake of AI, which I felt like that's happened about a year or so ago. It was like, use AI. Copilot was a big push from Microsoft tools if you had those. And it was just like, use it. It has not worked very great in my opinion. They're trying. just like most AI. But how do you prioritize that? How do you know it's going to actually be of value to the point of Copilot, to know that we need to put money into this and time into this and resourcing into this initiative? Because once we model it correctly in a year, it then will help us, like the Copilot example. Like, how do you know? How do you prioritize?
Oh, really good question. And we actually help most of our customers. We call it Smart Start. It falls in somewhere between, if you remember the categories that I described. How do you go from just being AI aware or aligned to activate to amplify? So somewhere between activate and amplify is what you're describing. I'll give you one simple example. You have to have a use case in inventory to build. You have to have some governance, a truly cross-functional governance in place, without which AI is going to be very difficult. AI will not be successful if you think I have an AI team deployed and they'll take care of everything. No, that's not going to work, in my opinion, at least. So it's a truly cross-functional governance, including security and your compliance, seat at the table. So you need to have a way to continuously build your inventory of use cases and prioritize. Give you one basic example. Copilot, you mentioned that. So when we start someone with Copilot, most of the times it's about how to use Copilot and what it's really good at. The Copilot has excellent enterprise context.
Yeah.
But how do you work with Copilot is where there is a huge gap. We use a tool called Prompt Buddy, for example.
What is it called? Prompt Buddy?
Prompt Buddy.
Okay.
Try it. It's free. It's in GitHub.
Yeah.
You can. I mean, there's a continuously built repository of really good prompts. Okay. Now,
I like it.
For example, Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft himself, started sharing about the top 5 or 10 prompts that he uses daily. So it goes to show the importance of knowing how to work with Copilot.
Mm-hmm.
If you use tools like Prompt Buddy, which will let you manage. So what we do is across our customer base, we test. We kind of experiment and see, okay, these 200 prompts, they work very well across various roles, across various scenarios. Now let's create a repository of that and publish it to everybody. You could do that. It doesn't matter which role, whether you're looking at it from compliance perspective or you're doing HR, your accounting, it doesn't matter. So that's one way to look at it. Okay, so this is where activate phase is very important. This is how you enable, your employees is give them the tools and say, hey, by the way, it's okay if you don't know how to use Copilot, but go here, learn. Maybe ask AI what's the best way, to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. And look at the prompts, research. Again, it goes back to time. You have to give everyone some time to get better at working with AI. It doesn't come naturally. Everybody thinks I can ask a question, and if it hallucinates back, we assume it's wrong. Yeah, most often my first response is there is a bit of hallucination. Then I have to iterate to make it better and make it better and make it better. That's just one basic example. I can go on, but this goes to show it's about creating a framework, creating the center of excellence that truly matters. Tools like Prompt Buddy. There are many others that you could use.
Oh, that's awesome. So I've got my homework. And anybody that's listening to go check out, how to make better prompts. Because I know that that's something, I think about, but then I forget and I don't spend like the intentional time doing it. So that's great. Thank you so much for that. I want to ask you about the talent portion of this equation. So attracting and retaining talent, and specifically like in AI, right? Like looking at AI as an expertise. This is a challenge, right? It's a chicken and the egg problem. Now you have like AI experts, right? What advice do you give for leaders that are building and want to maintain and like create these scalable like AI teams?
Yeah, I think the first thing I would recommend is please don't assume that because you've deployed an AI team that comprises of data scientists or AI engineers or data engineers, you have what it takes to truly operationalize AI. I think it goes to everyone in the organization has to be become AI native. It's individually same process. You are AI aware, you are AI enabled, you are AI native. Everyone has to go through the journey. you have to start there first. You have to train your teams. You have to invest in upskilling. You have to make sure you understand where they are and where they go. And that has to become part of expectation in the future. That has to become part of performance in the future. That has to become part of everything that we do in the future as everyone gets better. That's the good starting point. Once your individual users are creative enough to figure out and slowly go through the motion and become AI native, once they truly are, once you're, HR, finance, sales, marketing, they're becoming truly native, you will see some really good ideas come out. I mean, you will see some amazing ideas come out and say, hey, it's not just about saving saving time or it's efficiency gains. It's about creating new ideas, new revenue streams, new ways of doing things.
Yeah.
But it starts with individual training of every employee.
Well said. I love that you have all these phased approaches. Is that how you kind of organize your life? You seem like you're a very organized person. And when you look at things, do you look at them in like phased approaches typically?
To be very honest, I am not organized at all. No. I know.
Oh my gosh.
I'm probably very ad hoc.
Oh, okay.
But,
well, it served you well. You've done well.
But somewhere along, what I try to do is I learn from others. I research a lot. I take a step back and then say, what's the best way for me to now become a bit more productive and organized? But I go through a lot of ad hoc stuff before I get to, okay, this is how I should do it. Like it took me a year to say, okay, every week I'm going to do these things in AI for me to say I had a productive week. So it doesn't come naturally to me, but it takes effort.
The discipline kicked in. But I will say, like, throughout this conversation, it's been easy for me to understand your thought process. And I can tell, like, you've done a great job just even educating us as we've had this conversation. So it's been awesome.
Thank you. That's the attempt.
Yeah, Santosh, you've been amazing. Such an awesome guest. What is the best way if somebody wants to be able to reach out to you and connect with you? What is the best way for them to reach you? Is it LinkedIn, an email?
I'm fairly active on LinkedIn. So I would say LinkedIn, our website too, www.proarch.com.
Okay.
But I'm relatively active on LinkedIn.
All right, you guys heard it. Go find Santosh, like him, follow him, do all of the things, send him a message. Tell him, say, what's up? I saw you in Simply Cyber, 2 Cyber Chicks. You rock, all the things. Santosh, you've been awesome. Thank you so much for coming on the show today with us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure. That was amazing.
Santosh bringing the energy today.
Yeah, that was good. I mean, I'm going to take some of these like knowledge bombs that we got and take it back to my day-to-day work. I'm going to go get Prompt
Buddy a whirl today.
Yes. Well, the agent thing that he was talking about, like building an agent, it's so interesting because something that one of my mentors told me, we all know him as Neil Bridges, he actually said something similar. It's like, take the time, get to know AI, build an agent. The agents are the future. So he nailed it on that. Anybody out there in Simply Cyber, have you built an agent? Let me know. Let me know what you've used, what tools. I'm actually really curious. I'm not kidding. But to your point, Erica, too, there's a time commitment here and we're so saturated. I'm like, I don't know where I'll get the time.
We need to be intentional though, because Santosh brings such a good point. Like where are we in the phases, right? Like most of us are in the awareness phase. Like, I don't even know if we're enabled yet, right? So like, we've got to put in the time and it's a discipline thing. Like, I love the action that he brought to this conversation of what are the tasks with AI that I'm going to get done this week? And maybe it's a quarterly goal that turns into a monthly goal that turns into a weekly goal. But then that's how we drive real meaningful process. I mean, these agents take time to like build out, and then you're going to run it and you're going to, go back to the drawing board and fix a few things. And then, as with anything, it's just a learning process.
Micro learning. I try to do about an hour or so a day of learning on something, if not more. So I love it. Well, thank you all to the Simply Cyber community. We love you guys. Thank you for rallying, being here in the chat. You all are amazing. Thank you, Jerry, for allowing us to be part of the community yet again. If you're new here and you've got some ideas for the show, or not new and you've got ideas, send Eric and I an email at 2, that's the number 2, cyberchicks@gmail.com. And last but certainly not least, if you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe, share it. Oh, and one more thing. We just found out that if you go to any of the podcast platforms like Apple Podcast or Spotify, we actually pop up with 2 different podcasts. One is under our old media group, ITSP Mag, go to the one that says Simply Cyber Media. Give us some 5 stars. Tell us you love us, so more people can be aware of this podcast. You guys are amazing. We do this because we love you and the community. So that is all. We're signing out.
See you next time.